I sat down with the family of 14-year-old Amari Peterson. The word devastating doesn't even begin to cover it. That family gathered inside of this building on Saturday to celebrate the birthday of a 2-year-old. They would have never imagined that just 48 hours later, it would turn into a memorial for their own child. I want to warn you that the details the father shares about the final moments of his young son's life are simply gut-wrenching. Any father remembers the day their child is born.
He was just like the perfect gift from God.
But this father, Patrick Peterson, is now burdened to live with the day his son died.
All I can see is my son crawling on the ground and me trying to resuscitate him.
At just 14, Amari Peterson took his last breath.
He had one bullet hole right above his heart.
Amari and his family, a few of the dozens on Saturday who were just trying to celebrate the birthday of a 2-year-old.
I just heard gunshots and then the shooter came in and he came in, I turned my back and I looked at him and then I just started seeing him shoot. Just sit down.
Patrick's daughter was grazed, and in the panic before he could even react,
everybody running off and then my son is just sitting there just crawling, trying to get up. So I got my baby, I had to hop back over the counter and I'm trying to see what's going on with him. I'm trying to give him CPR and the bullet and he just got blood coming out his face, and it's just something that a father should never have to go through.
What no one should ever endure is now on a painful replay.
Every time I get ready to lay down, I'm like laying over my son while he's sitting there breathing, trying to breathe. Every day he would tell me, "Dad, I love you. Dad, I appreciate you." Every night, every morning. Every night, every morning, that boy would tell me he loved me.
A loving boy, a gentle soul, a life taken, and a community shaken.
He was loved by like so many people. He loved sports, he loved football, he loved basketball. You know, he ran a little bit of track, but overall, he was just a gentle soul. And I just can't see why God would let something like this happen.
I need for you to think about the untold trauma in this man's eyes, man. I need for you to see his horror up close and personal. See, that's the thing, man, with these gang shootings. Everybody real tough. Everybody is, extremely tough. Until something like this happens. Now we running scared, trying to change our lives at the expense and the cost of somebody else. Not to mention, the horror this leaves behind. It's just crazy, man. When I realized that, being in the gang, that's all I left behind was, untold trauma, man. Things I will never speak. Because I realized how it had affected somebody else. It's crazy that, the youth don't have time to self-reflect and time to figure out how to even think. Mainly because it's not enough time to teach anybody how to think. Because we're not knowing how to think ourselves. So you get situations like this. I mean, look at it for what it is, man. America's culture. This is sad, I feel for the people that were there. I feel for the youth that was there, because they're forever traumatized. They're forever caught in somebody else's web of life. Ideas of what life could be crushed. You know, youth shouldn't be taken to any extent, but it definitely shouldn't be taken from youth. When it's taken by the youth, from the youth, that says the adults are truly the ignorant ones. It's saying that the adults are the ones who enable these things. We could place blame on so many things. But who do you place broken feelings on? That's important. Because this man right here, I know to this day, still sitting around wondering what he could have did. See, young man, when you pick up that gun and you don't realize the trauma you about to leave behind by being known as a killer. I don't understand. I've never understood people that brag about being in jail. I could never accept that. Nor could I, accept being around people who wanted to be known for busting their guns. I mean, I have my situations, I've had my stories, but in reality, no, man. I always knew in the back of my mind, like, the things that I went through, should no one have to go through, man. And although everybody has their own life stories, however similar they may be, the way you conceive this trauma is unimaginable. But if you could imagine the trauma, would you be the same one still willing to commit to the act? I don't know many people that even truly want to be a part of the things that they do. It's just the life that they know. But then that's the excuse. Because see, in life we're taught to just keep repeating these things. And as we repeat them to a worse magnitude, because there's no understanding, there's no stability, there's no standards, there's no boundaries, there's no guidelines to none of these things that we're doing. So we get this here. I mean, you get dudes that walk up in here and shoot up a child's birthday party. Listen to that, young man. Cause see, I see a lot of you dudes is 16, 15 years old, selling your soul to something. In 10, 20 years, you're not gonna wanna be the same person. And if you are, I mean, at some point, hopefully you get over it, but you know, you don't want to be no old nigga promoting nothing about the streets. Weak-minded men promote youth in the streets once they get to a certain age. They're manipulating the youth. This shit's not cool. It has to stop. Like, I don't understand why people don't see the trauma it leaves behind. But we too busy cashing the check. We too busy living life. We too busy in a rush to be concerned. This is where the idea of family is being taken away from situations like this. Imagine doing everything right and still getting life wrong. Imagine that, man. Imagine trying to pursue something, trying to get somewhere with someone you love, man, and it just not working because of someone else. See, there's some situations you can't say I'm sorry. There's certain situations that you just cannot come back from. There's certain things that you're gonna decide to do that could build your life or destroy your life. But when you promote this gang shit, you're not promoting what's the best of you. So you're not gonna promote life. You're gonna promote these situations, and then when these situations sit around, even you gonna have a brief thought like, damn, that's fucked up. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you, man. I mean, literally, like, if your soul is so tapped out to where something like this does not affect the way you think, affect the way you feel, affect the way you are, then something is wrong. The toughest niggas, the streetest niggas got a conscience. You don't know too many real deal killers. That hang out by themselves. Think about that, man. It take a group of motherfuckers. I ain't saying they don't exist. I don't care that they do. However, the point says most niggas hang out with other niggas, man. I know as I got older, man, I know I had conversations with people where we talked about it, like, we never wanted to really be a part of the streets. But it was what we knew. Today's world, this ain't all you know, man. But you only know what you know. You got to continue to live the way you live out of fear. So this tough facade you thinking you got going on because you done caught you a couple bodies or been involved with a couple shootings doesn't make you heroic, man. It doesn't make you one of great notoriety. Because you're not, man. You're a fool thinking you can achieve something no one else has achieved. And I need to understand exactly what is that. Because every nigga before you either lived in a cell, died in a box, or regretted decisions that he has made and tried to change his life. See, that's the difference with the youth. I get it though. You're not being taught how to be different by the elders. I gotta start there. But if someone is not teaching you, it's your duty to figure it out, to find the information on your own. And I can say in my generation, this information wasn't there. So, however, nowadays, man, you chasing a bag, trying to be something everybody's trying to be. A rapper. Everybody wants to be a rapper. I heard a story a long time ago. I heard a story. And it was about sports. It was about one sport, but I'm going to just, include them all. It was how many people play in that sport? How many high schools is it? How many colleges is it? How many pros teams are there? And once you figure that out, you figure out how the numbers dwindle down. Well, I brought that up to say the street life is no different. Because you got to do the math on how the numbers are trickled down. The design is to get you to commit these acts, man. The design is to get you thirsty for attention. Everybody want to be the next such and such. Everybody want to be the next such and such, not realizing that being exactly who they are is what will not just make the world a better place, but give them the ability to control their own lives in ways they have never even imagined. And that is the problem with street niggas. They don't imagine life outside the fucking streets. And you have to begin to figure out why. Because there is so much more to life. Can you go across town? Can you leave your city and be the same person you are where you stand, where you are right now? Because that is a man. If you can't get up and go and do things the way you want to do, then how can you call yourself one that is free of anything? If the mind cannot do as it sees, the heart and soul does not achieve, nor does it live in the manner it could, should, or is supposed to. Young man, you haven't figured these things out yet. So thinking that you are tough and you are capable because you're put in a position to feel like you're fighting for survival, when the only reason why you're fighting for survival is because of the way you've been taught to think, the way you've been trained to think. And parents, I need you to take this one to the bank, because playing the same dangerous shoot 'em up, bang bang rap music every day around your kids is training them to think. When you sit there and glorify rap and twerk and all this in the manners that you do, is making them feel that being a rapper is the way you get the attention that they need, and that is not it. By the time they figure out what they're actually going through, it's too late. By the time they figure out what they needed and what they was trying to achieve in life, it's too late. We got to do better. Quit trying to be this thug rapper that I'm gonna put money up my sleeve. Money is not backed by nothing. Why does it even matter how much money you got? I mean, if you don't set the tone, if you don't set the financial standard to it, then why care? If you can't set the standard to the things that you consume over the years, why even worry about it? Things that you cannot control come and go. Things you can are permanent. Once you can't control them no more, what do? You let them go. This situation in the street life, when a nigga realized that he can't control what happens in the streets, he lets it go. Because it comes to a point where in your mind as a man, you're like, damn, I didn't mean to get in this situation. Like, damn, I wasn't even trying to be this person. And a lot of shootings happen that way. A lot. But I wasn't going to let him talk to me this way. I wasn't going to, man. Look here. You're emotionally displaced. The way you act when you 12 is the way you're going to act when you 16. 4 years doesn't make a difference. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you 12 to if you 12 to 16, imagine what you was like when you was 6. Mentally. Because see, if the parents ain't teaching you mental stability, emotionally ain't gonna be there either. But you have to figure out how to do you for the best ways of doing you. You can't allow people to push a button and you go kill 4 innocent people. That is just not the thing to do. We all sit around as black people say, man, I ain't with the Klan killing me. You ain't. But you gonna promote the things that help you kill each other. The Klan ain't got to kill you. Because mentally, you're already dead. That was the entire point. So young man, if you listening to this, understand, I realize what it's like for you young dudes to have the choice of so many things, but no direction to use them. That's a detriment. And that is one you blame elders for. Out loud, blame them. Blame us all. Because we're not thinking in those terms to help you protect your life, to protect those around you. That's how you get situations like this. This has got to be more than just upsetting. This has got to be more than just upsetting. This has got to be life-changing. Because as we can tell, until we change the lives that we live, this is going to continue to happen. Remember, I'm your host, Darnell Henderson. Until then, back at you, baby.